Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to kind of give you a challenge, a nudge in a direction, and that direction is to subscribe to some YouTube channels. Now, not just any YouTube channels, okay? Although I certainly would appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you haven't already done so. But what I mean by this is, there's people I talk to all the time that are trying to learn X, Y, and Z. And obviously there's many books and podcasts and things like that, but one of the greatest resources, I always call it YouTube U, or YouTube University in long form. And that just means that there are wonderful channels out there that dedicate themselves to educating you and me and everyone else in a certain subject. So whether it's about podcasting, whether it's about filmmaking, acting, book writing, and so forth, there are truly amazing YouTubers out there who are very knowledgeable and who are doing amazing things and really breaking it down. And what I want you to do is to spend some time and really kind of explore subjects that you want to learn more about and look up who's teaching them and subscribe to the ones that you think you can look at, And by the way, this could be anything, right? So I subscribe to people like Jay Shetty and Marie Forleo, for just kind of things about inspiration and motivation and stuff like that, not to pigeonhole them necessarily. But then I also subscribe to people like Gary Vee more for, the how-to, and also a Film Riot, let's say. Film Riot is constantly doing tutorials and so forth. And this is just a few of the channels that I subscribe to, right? But in that way, as I said, I want to challenge you to kind of really look at these, do a YouTube search and find stuff what's out there. Whenever I interview somebody for a position that I'm hiring, especially kind of a big one that's going to be a longer term thing, I always ask hey, so the business is constantly changing. What are the ways you keep in the know of things, the changing landscape, And then they may give me stuff, they read books, they read magazines, they listen to this podcast or whatever else. But also just in general, I find on YouTube, it's a great way to kind of stay in the know of if you're a filmmaker, all the various gadgets, if there's a camera review YouTube channel or something like that, you're constantly kind of getting a little bit of oh wow, here's all the various things. And so that's how I kind of stay up to date. That's how I always am learning, whether it's After Effects, Photoshop, photography, camera tricks, all these things. So, I cannot tout YouTube University enough. It's free, all it costs you is some ads every now and then, but so what, So please go and subscribe to channels that will benefit you in your life. And to that point, please comment down below with some of the ones that you find. You may find ones that I am not aware of that are amazing, and I too would love to subscribe. So let's make this a list, shall we? And it might not be for me, but it might be for somebody else down the line. I always like to look at this show that I do as a collective. It's not just me talking to you and you conversing with me, but in that sense, by being online, we are a little bit of a community. At least I like to think so. To that point, if you think this might benefit somebody in your life, please share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I hope to see you next time.